Hey everyone out there. My name is Dr. Toyin Ajayi Osakwe, and by God's grace and by His privilege, I am the coordinator of Foundation for Family Reformation, and an NGO that is saddled with the responsibility to help parents to raise the 21st century child. And you that you are listening to me there, I know you can understand the times that we are in, and we have to begin to address some of these issues. The last video, I try as much as possible to define who a parent is and things that characterize what makes an individual a parent. And I also spoke about the child and the facts that characterize who a child is and why he needs to be attended to. Today, I will be talking to you about a subject that I called child management and development. This is a course that is completely absent from all our formal education academic curriculum. You don't find it in any school, okay, where parents, I'm not talking about where there are general knowledge about some teachings that has to do with parenting or social life, or in my field, the one we call community health. But when it comes to child management, the one we call parenting, I'm yet to find a curriculum where parents are schooled and are certified. So we come up with something that I believe in this time God wants us to hear, and if you can run with it, it will go a long way. So I will be introducing this subject to you, and I'll be laying the foundation, and in my subsequent videos I will expand it and bring out some facts, truths that can help us in this time. So I call this Introduction to Child Management and Development. Now, what is management? Let me just go straight to what I have to say. I said it's a purposive attitude or activities that involve set of principles relating to the function of planning, decision making, organizing, leading, motivating, and controlling resources towards attainment of a certain predetermined goal. Can I read that again? It's long, and that's why I say it's a teaching. It's something we can't rush over. We need to take our time, understand it, know the nitty-gritties, and then we can have the pleasure to apply it. So I said it's a purposive attitude, mark that, or activities that involve set of principles. It involves set of principles relating to the function of planning, okay, decision making, organizing, leading, motivating, and controlling. Last week I told you about one fact about parenting, and I said it's a choice and it's a decision. Unlike what we see in the world today, people find themselves with children or with a child without having an idea. They don't even know next to nothing what to do with that little bean in their hand. So you will not be surprised when you see this madness everywhere. Quickly, just to rewind you and remind you of that absurd, terrible videos that mar our Easter holiday about one school there. I'm not here to mention schools names here. Every one of you know, you've seen it. And to those of you who have not seen it, you may not be privileged to see it again, because it's unlawful to share it, because it involves a minor. Okay? It involves a minor. And those of you still have it in your devices and you still keep it there to watch, then it's unfortunate. Throw it away. It's unhealthy, not for anybody. But so many of us came online and we say all kind of things. We castigated the parents, we spoke about the school, we talked about the government, and everywhere, and on and on and on. And most unfortunately, about the child. Let me let you understand something here, that to a very large extent, I will not fault that child straight away. I won't fault that child straight away, because it's a child. Let me tell you something about the child. There's a saying that said, he that does not know, and he does not know that he does not know, is a fool. But there is he that does not know, and he knows that he does not know. That characterizes a child. A number of times, these children are innocent. They will only play out what they see or what was refused them. And in this case, what was refused of the child is proper attention. Most of the videos this young lady posted online were actually videoed in her house, where they're supposed to be a resident parent. So how come this whole thing went out of this house without anybody? There's one of those videos where there is a sibling. So that's to tell you that to some extent, some people in that house have an idea or knows that things like this is going on there. And nobody paid any attention. So I will not dwell much on that. And there's another video again where there's this minors, a guy, a boy, with two other younger boys and two young girls went into maybe a rest house or an hotel or somewhere, and they want to book a room. That's another one there. To book a room to do what? Obviously, you and I know what they are about to do. Now, these are few examples. The whole place is filled with all these things, and we can't fold our hands and continue to wish thinking and just like, okay, somehow we will get out of it. It's not going to work that way. It's not going to work that way. And that is why I'm bringing in something that we all need at this time. A parent job is the most tasking. And I tell people often and again that if you are not ready to parent a child, or you have one and you are not ready to do what is necessary, please give that child out for adoption. Give it to someone else who have an idea of what to do about it. I'm giving you a definition of what management. Why management? Human beings are meant to be managed. A little here, a little there. Support there, sometimes we withdraw support. It's like baking a cake. I think I made that example in the last video. You need to add the right quantity at the right time. All the ingredients must be complete at the right quantity. When you put it into the oven, the right temperature to give you the right result must be there, and that is what is here. Purposive, a purposeful activity that involves set of principles involving planning, decision, organizing. You are leading, you are motivating, you are controlling. Here, the resources here is the child. Now, towards the end of that definition, I said towards attainment of a certain predetermined. What does I mean by that? You already have in your mind how you want your child to look like, the kind of citizen, the kind of person. You may not be completely in charge of this, but you can make preparation for it. You can walk towards it. You can push for it. Do you want a child that is respectful? Do you want the one that could be a leader? Do you need a child that is an academician? Something that can impact the society positively. Or you want a thief? You want another Hitler? Or the other man that is striking another country now, irrespective of whosoever, just destroying everything? Is that the kind of being you want to produce? You have to determine that. And I went ahead to say, in child management, it is more than the activities, really. Okay? More than the attitude, more than those activities, your attitudes of approach is key. That's what I'm saying. What exactly do you want? And how are you approaching it? Parenting is a 24-hour business. Taking back to my last video, I said it can never be by correspondence. Those of you send your children to the boarding school, to some extent, that is still partial correspondence. The child is there for 3 months, you are here at home. How well do you communicate? Because at this point now, we want the school to do everything, just like some of our comments on those videos. Friends, that won't work. It won't work fully. You must understand and know that you do the greatest of the job. So before you begin to launch and attacking any educator on the approach he's giving your child or how your child turns out, look inward first. Look inward first. So that you understand how you approach what is on ground. And I said, what feeds your drive is your ability to create in your mind your expected end. There's something you are pushing for. There was a time I was having issues with my little boy reading. And I know that if his ability to read is having issues at the elementary stage, it may later affect him in future. Because if you cannot read, you will not be able to write. It's always read and write. It's not write and read. It is only when you are able to read that you can write. If you can't read, you can't write. And the two goes together. So what I do immediately is to withdraw him from the so-called prestigious school that they are doing nothing, and take him to a school that has no name, but they are serious with what they are doing. And within the first session that he was in that school, I see that incredible improvement. Now that is a parent that is thinking. That's a parent that has something at the back of his mind, what he wants to see. So when you don't have anything that you are driving towards, what you really want to achieve, you will get anything that comes your way. Today in our community, it's all about money that we celebrate. We even brag about it. You see where women sit down and tell and we're taking to each other, how much did they pay for your child's school? I still pay 4.5 million as tuition. And because of this craziness in our society, we choose to respect such arguments. And it's so funny that I have not at any time in any of these big schools, how many of those schools have topped JAMB? Any of their pupils score the highest in WAEC? Go and make your research and let me know. You know those schools. So it is not about how much of money, it's how much of you. That's why we are here. How much of you? What are you ready to give? Unfortunately, most often than not, as parents, we have great expectations. We have lovely expectations. There's no parent that wish, no matter, even though you're a devil, though it's a devil, that wish that he produce a garbage. Even some of us that are so negligent. Nobody. But most of the time, our approach are completely wrong. Therefore, a balanced child management is operational when practiced by an informed parent. You hear what I said? A balanced child management is operational when practiced by an informed parent. And that takes me quickly to my next point. Who is an informed parent? Who is an informed parent? Now listen carefully. I have to read something to you here. I said, we are living in a time when knowledge has increased and is still increasing. Hence, men are able to provide solutions to ever-increasing complicated human challenges in terms of needs. These are times where trial by error will not work, where novice cannot excel. The situation in the world today is so complicated that if you don't possess the right knowledge to attend specific needs, you won't get. So we're talking about an informed parent, and we're talking about the 21st century child. It's a bundle of a complex on its own that you will need to be informed to attend to. Let me give you one example, one very clear that all of us are running around now. Look at the situation of our economy in Africa, and which I believe Nigeria is the capital. Why do you think that the rest of the world are moving and they keep on moving? And it appears that here we are not just on the same spot, it's as if we are going backwards. It's simply because when we have men who know next to nothing about the current forces that determined the dynamics of issues in this present dispensation, when you put novice into offices where we need technocrats, informed personalities, you will not get any good results. If every of our appointments here have to do with political association, then we're going nowhere. These are not the days where somebody becomes your leader because people just love him. No, you don't have to be loved to be a leader and get results. The world system is so complicated now in terms of economy, in commerce, in science. Mention it, and then we still go about just put somebody somewhere. That is a perfect example that I can give when it comes to who should be an informed parent. These children are fast, they are intelligent, they are resilient, they move with the speed of light, their thinking is so dynamic that you can't be sleeping. You can't be sleeping. If you are coming to use your analog into this digital, then you know that you have failed even from the beginning. So you need information, and you have to strive for it. Some times ago, I released on our Facebook chat abbreviations of coded words that the young people use these days, and purely for dirty things. And you see a lot of parents, they were like, and I told them that, look, this thing is reviewed from time to time. Immediately we're able to get some of this information and put it out there, and they know that you already know what they are saying. Okay? Then they change it again. This is not today for that. When I come with that video, I will share it also. What am I saying? You must be an informed parent to excel. So I said, an informed parent is the one with the right attitude, ready to learn and prepared to apply the principles. and watching day and night to see that he achieved the expected end. The truth is that you can't give what you don't have. The 21st century child is peculiar and needs a peculiar attention from a peculiar parent. That is just it. Unfortunately, general hospitals, the MCC, which is the maternal and child centers, are having loads and loads and loads of babies excuse me, on daily basis. Children that we are churning out where there is no plan even for ordinary immunization, no plan for their education. Now we try to introduce family planning. We come with our religious bigotry and said to Fiakpa, what exactly do you think we are doing? Now, this brings me to my next point, and that is being informed parent is not enough. You can see, I've been talking about you have to have the information, you need the knowledge, but now I'm getting to the next point. It's not even enough. It's not the end, it's a means to an end. It's just like prayer. When you tell people, here we are so religious, anything say go and pray. Say go and pray. We pray. I pray heaven down, and I believe so much in it. But you know one thing about prayer? Prayer is never meant to be an end of any issue. God never intended to be an end. It's a means to an end. When you pray, wait and see results. So when you check the principles in scriptures, that is what happens. Here we pray and go and sleep. Immediately it gives you this psychological relief. You go and sleep, even though nothing is happening after your prayer. Being an informed parent is a means to an end. Here is the end. You must be prime. So I'll say, what is that? This means you are applying yourself practically. That is where to start from. So going back to that video of that young woman, the parent of that child, who are they? What are they capable of? What are their personality? What can we say about them, or what can they say about themselves? Are they upright? Are they God-fearing? Do they believe excuse me, in living righteously? Being prime here simply means you will apply yourself first these principles of child management. You applied it to your personal life that is transparent enough for your child to see, and then the child will imitate. That's what we call prime parent. So from being an informed parent to be a primed parent. To be prime, these core values that you are transmitting must pass through the following. Must pass through the following. Number one, these core values must be observable. It's like the principle of science. It must be observable. It must be identifiable. It must be measurable. It must be reproducible. And it must be transferable. The child should be able to identify it. Must be able to observe it. So there's no rule of do what I say and don't do what I do. The child must be able to identify it when he sees it. He should be able to measure it. Is it sustainable? He should be able to reproduce it as in himself. And he should be able to transfer it to another person. Being prime got to go through this. But I will not really stay much on that. In my next video, I will break it down the more.